Good afternoon, Juxt. Good to see you again.
Yindi ton rap sueb kongchan.
I would not want to be you today. Ready. Fight. Walk out.
Hi guys, I'm in the middle of a intense Mira match with Sedir. Yes, with my Sedir. It's cause I slay. Oh my gosh, this has multiple stars. It's like, his Mira is actually decent.
Just chilling. The other guys are in the party. Nobody's talking.
Deep clean concentration at the moment. Because the Sadira has shadow mode, or instinct mode.
This is such a whack match for Mira. Because in order to nail Sedir now, she has to use a lot of stuff. I'm just going to sit with that. I don't know if I'm running towards you.
Good game, Just.
That was too much fun. Supreme victory.
I gotta say, I was
His
a
typing
little
can get
disappointed
really
that
good.
there's no Mike today. I was looking forward to kind of looking forward to busting out some South Park style Canada jokes.
Come on, eh? His flappy head.
I was interested
I
in
was,
finding out if he was my buddy, my guy, my friend.
I was
He's
born
a
near Toronto, if it makes you feel any better.
Well, I'm not your buddy, guy.
Yep, use all that meter. Use your meter.
Here we go. Getting steamrolled by Big Bad Andy.
Let's hope so.
School ground bully.
Yeah, I guess things up there aren't going as well as down here as far as
You
real
ne'er-do-well.
stuff.
Andy the
I am
big
a
kid gonna beat
ne'er-do-well,
me up and
yeah.
take my lunch money.
I would. Boy, lunch money would be great right about it. I'd
All
send it to
50 cents of
Juxtapost
it.
to get a headset. Hey, there you go.
I bet that
Second
was
shot is
fun.
good.
Yeah, I bet that was real fun. It was fun for me.
You know, I had no effects whatsoever. I mean, it was a Sunday, so I was tired and had a headache.
Oh, man,
but
I
that's
went
like
through
every
the
Sunday
gamut.
for the last 10 years.
I had all of them on the second
Yeah.
one.
That's too
Like,
bad.
I went down hard.
It's taking a long time to load.
Yeah, seriously, it's like,
Happening.
what is...
It's starting to look that way.
Cause I slay! I beaches! Oh, that was intense!
You caught me.
Sorry, I got excited.
All right.
Yeah, we can-
I'm gonna.
What? You only gave me
I
200
could not
points?
tell.
You suck. You suck as a player. I was expecting you to give me a ton of points, and you didn't. Broke my freaking heart. No, I was playing against one of my friends. His name is Sonaris.
Okay,
really
yeah,
good
it was
Sadira.
just...
But his match was so laggy. I was having to do 2 presses, 2 buttons to get to anything, and then when I was hitting him, I was like armor. It's like he was absorbing every one of my punches, and I'm like, that's it, bud. I'm sorry, bud. Peace out, and I left. I'm like, I ain't gonna play with a match where I can't even hit the person. It's dumb. In your laggy match. Ooh.
Yeah, there are moments in ranked where it's just... You find these people that it's just a little bit of a headache, because...
Yeah. And like,
No matter
the
how
game
good the
performs
netcode
so
is, it's
well,
like-
but what are they doing, right? It's like Wi-Fi in the McDonald's while Grandma checks her email and Johnny watches YouTube. Like,
Well, I'll describe how it felt like. It felt like playing Mortal Kombat on Game Boy. The original Mortal Kombat on Game Boy. It was like everything. It's like... I'm like, I would see his character before. That was actually my first version of Mortal Kombat I'd owned. It was on Game Boy. Mortal Kombat 1 on Game Boy. And then I got a Genesis and I was
can't see it. I'm just
Jared.
watching this stupid
Okay.
It really was. The Mortal Kombat 1, I mean, it kept a lot of the stuff from the arcade, which was surprising. The Mortal Kombat 2 was decent. It just didn't have hardly any of the characters.
It doesn't
I
hold up
get
as
it.
well as a lot of
Turn
others in the
Nosca now.
modern era, but
I
for
know
the
it.
time,
He
it
is
was a really
reading.
great-
He's like, he says, you know what? I have been studying the martial. I've been studying with like a Sifu of Killer Instinct. He has learned how to master.
He's had enough of my shit.
He's on fire. I like
No,
that.
seriously, he is messing me up right now, and I am not able to download.
Downloading.
Can I pull this
I know
back?
it.
Can I?
Yeah, hit.
Orchid keeps
No,
getting
I'm not.
stronger all the time.
Oh, you had it. Use that orchid power. Woohoo!
Yep, I got it. I got hit.
I don't have to play
One step
against his.
closer to flushing out old
I
attack.
don't have to start off with against the Cinder. Woohoo!
Yeah, tell Just that.
Alright,
He had
alright.
that unfortunate.
Yeah.
luck.
Speaking of characters that need to be nerfed, or I'm just kidding. Orchid.
Speaking of characters
Yeah,
who need to
Cinder
be
probably
nerfed.
needs a damage nerf, I think.
Orchid.
To
Yeah.
crank his damage down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Orchid
take the
is-
lowest damage character in the game, and let's just
Crank it
let's
down.
make him work 3 times as hard.
In fact,
'cause, you know,
probably he could use like lose all that fire.
on top
you know,
of that,
I
let's
was
take
watching-
Tusk and let's double his damage
That sounds like a good idea.
and give him another heavy punch.
Right.
Oh,
Especially
John
his
asked that.
damage
He's in
on
killer. I didn't notice.
just strikes in neutral.
He made it to
Hasn't
killer.
he always been a killer?
Damage
No.
outside of combo.
He's been in gold for a while.
He's been in
Base
secret
actually-
training.
Yeah, Base has been using Cinder and Tourneys. He has been.
That's
it's
how
like,
he started out.
yeah.
Yeah,
well,
he
no,
started
was
as Cinder.
Really, I thought Base was a spinal. I thought he was.
Oh,
spinal.
played
well,
a
after a
ton of
while, he
Spinal.
went to Spinal hard, but
Yeah.
you know,
He used to do
He
a
still
lot of
plays
Cinder.
Cinder.
playing.
No, but his Cinder is crazy. But I mean, one of the things he does, he just keeps people lit up. And so they have
Target
either
spotted.
fight him and risk, taking, potential damage, or let him just do shenanigans and. Oh.
and a lot
Yes.
of the original gameplay I learned from him is like, or that I learned for Cinder was kind of based on, like from Domi and from Base.
Yeah, Domi's really good.
Yeah, but he hasn't been seen in forever, I don't think.
Yodelad is actually really good. He's a good Cinder.
I never heard of Yoda Lad.
He's in one of the new tournaments. Oh, beautiful! That's good.
Kind of mad that that my match against Andy didn't, because like I was wanting to see if I could. I have been going and doing training mode stuff against Glacius. I was like, I want to anti-tech him.
I lost to a Glacier today named Snowcone.
Isn't Snowcone like a tournament player?
Did he pick the yellow color?
Yeah, I think it's Robos.
Yeah, Robo Snowcone I generally beat, but it's been a while. I'm like, wow. And then his match got really laggy after the second. I beat him the first match, and the second match it was like, man, this is like.
Oh,
really,
that was Open Ender.
This got cold.
Yeah, it's like, and I almost, he had me all the way down to like 1 hit point left, and I came back and literally almost won the match. It's just that right at the end when I was going to do my, go into my Ultra, it didn't come out, and then I ducked, I was able to get out of his ice, and then as I was leaving, a errant hail hit me and killed me, and I was so mad, because I almost took that match all the way back, and it was like, alright. Darren's like, he says, no more Mr. Nice Guy. I've evolved. I am now the next Crazy Skate Nate.
He's quaking in his boots.
I ran into Crazy Skate Nate using Shinisako. I took the first match, but then he destroyed me.
Yeah, I like Nate. His Jago is ridiculous.
Nate is just amazing altogether. I mean, every character he picks up just becomes glorious. But you know, he has a lot of fun though. He does a lot of crazy stuff in his matches. I ran into Soundy 44 and his. He tried to pull that Mira garbage he did with that poor Hisako that took 81%. That was like an all-bat combo that took 81%. He tried to do that. I'm like, So I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're getting ready to do. I'm getting out of this thing.
Soundy had some interesting Cinder Tech on his YouTube channel that I looked up, and I found that there was some, like, I have never seen anybody actually try to, like, combo a Pyro Bomb. Like, keep the combo going after using Pyro Bomb. Granted, it's very situational, but it's, you know, it's still difficult, and it's,
You're talking about the
has
Shadow Pyro
application.
Bomb, where it's like
No,
or just a regular one? Is it a juggle or is it just a ground combo?
It actually starts off on the airborne normal.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because he's got that recap.
He's basically so close to the ground that like he'll cancel airborne normal with a Pyro Bomb throw, hit the ground instantly for a quick recovery, and continue combo. And I was like, it works. It's situational, but it works. It's hard to make that situation stuff practical though, but you can work it in there somehow.
Yeah, that's the thing about really fancy all these fancy combos. It's you didn't fall for it.
Nope.
I did.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Gara is going for the extended combo. He wants the damage.
And if he'd just done the
No.
knee, he would have been going.
First, this is not. Oh my god! He's going nuts! He's heavy up!
Don't want to get that Sadira up off the ground.
Yes.
How are you not holding up? I thought you just had your controller locked in that position.
Bagnock is not talking back now. He is
giving
in.
on the patter.
I guess
He's like, I got a job. Like, leave me alone.
He is wanting this, and it's looking.
Close.
Could go either way. Again.
Touch
Yeah.
match now.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh. Can. Oh.
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh
Little
no.
Kevin,
I was
like,
thinking,
full
Jar,
all
can you pull off
match.
the stage ultra and it's like,
Match.
oops.
Jared, he says I have evolved. You know, he's gone from Pikachu to Raichu.
No, that looked like
Why?
Larvitar to Tyranitar on that one.
Yeah, it's like a hit.
Utter beast mode.
Yeah, he was like, well, I mean, that's kind of how you have to. That's kind of how you have to do with Sadira. You have to be beastly.
No mercy. Give no shits.
I have played 0 games. I have played some strong.
Here
I'm
we
not
go.
looking forward to my turn. I'm gonna get my butt
Big bad
beat
Andy.
for sure.
I haven't played
Beating
any
up people
Strive.
and taking their lunch money.
No, it's like I left my job, so I'm in the middle of a new, working on getting on another one. But of course, I haven't got paid yet, so it kind of
Well, don't tell me
Jen!
you're a Sadira player. Man, why is this?
They're like, they said, well, I don't know. They want hire for
What
hire,
the-
so.
And I might have to drop out and reboot. Oh no!
Oh,
spoke
yes.
Too soon.
Yes! That's the -7 on the block.
Trying to play footsies. Oh,
Yep.
Ooh! I saw manual.
It wasn't intentional.
Don't worry. We won't tell anyone. Most of the best stuff on here is
Punish that.
accidental. What's that? He didn't fall for the counter breaker? After already pressing combo breaker twice? Yeah, in all honesty, being a Cinder player, like most of my stuff was completely by accident. But it's like, I came to the point where like, man, most of Cinder's best stuff is off of just these random conversions. It's like, you've got to start learning how to opportunize everything.
that's weird. I wish I would have played this game more, just because I never really felt comfortable with the juggle game in this game. That's why I never picked up Cinder.
I remember playing this before, like, the juggle game was so strong and before even air normals were breakable.
Yeah.
Supreme victory.
What a time.
Yeah,
I even have the Season 1 disc still.
Season disc. Yeah,
I
I only owned it digitally, so.
I keep thinking every now and then I need to break out. I need to find a old Xbox One or something that's not been connected in a while, and see if I can just run it offline.
Yeah, you can run it.
Just
offline,
play-
People do it.
Play vanilla KI again.
I mean, if
very
you were to
first
theoretically take your Xbox offline and just uninstall the game and reinstall it on the disc, yeah, you'd have the vanilla one.
Yeah, but that's
What?
a hell of a lot of effort to.
Yeah.
I actually have an Xbox One just sitting around doing nothing. Actually,
He's like,
It's
it's
a-
like, we realized,
separate.
understand that Sadira could do spin to win in that one. She just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was-
and
it's a
Fulgore had
completely
full
different game.
anti-air laser from God knows how long a distance.
I mean,
And
it's
some really
Fulgore
messed
even
up
on-
meter game.
I mean, is the disc all of season 1 like at the end, or is it like the launch?
I believe it is
Yeah, that's a good question.
season
I've
1
never
at the end
actually
plus
tried
TJ combo, isn't it?
that
on
was
disc.
Season 2 was season 2.
I think we're no.
Yeah, I know, but they released him early as like a preview for season.
Maybe I don't remember.
So I think he's on the his picture's on the physical box.
yeah.
Is the screen black to anybody else?
Yeah.
No,
No.
I'm not seeing a black screen.
I don't see anything.
It's okay
I-
because Sadir is on the screen, so a black screen's probably better.
Yeah.
Alright, so today's conversation is what character do you not want to see back in the next KI?
That's a hard one.
Okay.
I kind of like want to see them all again. Just maybe.
I think it was mid
Eagle.
Well, I mean,
Eagles
besides
needs to be
everybody
fixed.
immediately saying Sadira, it was a serious question. That's certainly worth talking about.
Probably not.
Yeah, I
no.
think probably the guest characters don't come back.
Yeah.
Putting them aside,
Yeah.
which KI character? I mean, there's no sequel in the works. Okay? Everybody's all excited about what Phil Spencer said. All he said was, "We're not doing anything."
Yeah, seriously.
So, you know, there. Even
And
if they
even
started
Max Millian
today,
put out a video on that.
2027 by the time we see the game. So,
Yeah.
it's all just.
Have any of y'all seen that video, A Harsh Reality?
No.
Is that the Max video?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Max Millian put out one in regards to that little press release, and it's basically just been the same kind of thing we've been hearing all these years. It's
Yeah.
like they want to do something, but the opportunity just kind of really doesn't exist at the moment.
Well, there aren't any like American fighting game companies. There any developer that can actually make a fighting game. So you're
Cause yeah, Max
choices
made the
are
point.
limited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
even
right
that-
now,
That was
Iron
Max's
Galaxy's
point.
been like handed a lot of projects, and so
I try to be
Not
a
likely
positive
to-
guy, okay? I don't believe in spreading negativity around, but I find that to be nonsense. Double Helix wasn't a fighting game developer. They figured out how to make a fighting game. Like,
But the
there's
thing
lots
is,
of
they wanted
developers
to do it
around.
though.
Yeah.
They
If they
wanted-
really
all
wanted to
fans.
find somebody to make this game, they would just make the game.
yeah.
And
but
Iron
if you-
Galaxy, most of the people that worked at Iron Galaxy at the time were fighting game fans, and in fact worked on updating fighting games, such as they did the
Yeah.
the Darkstalkers
So-
thing, and
Yeah.
They did, yep. And they did the Street Fighter Online edition too for
Right.
the,
Correct.
The third
one
strike.
that works well.
The one that, yeah,
Iron
the
Galaxy
one that people
was
want to play more.
absolutely the right developer to take over the game in progress and deliver results. But I don't think you need anybody with fighting game experience if you give them like a 3-year development time to release
I don't know.
a
I
game.
disagree with that. I feel like
Well,
They have to
Double
love
Helix
fighting
did
games. Have
it
an
in like
understanding
6
of
months
what-
and made a game. Those guys
feel
didn't have any fighting game development experience. Not
Well, no,
any.
the Double Helix actually had some competitive players amongst their staff that kind of help fine-tune the better aspects of the game. And on
Well,
top
they
of
went out
that,
and hired
also
Filthy
had
Rich.
you also had two of the guys from the original Killer Instincts
yeah, Ken Law.
who helped Ken Lobb and Adam Isgreen.
Yeah,
No.
so Adam didn't have anything to do with the original thing.
Yeah,
But he was an
right, I
enthusiast.
forgot. But he,
I-
yeah, big enthusiast, and they had some really big champions to fight for it, internally and externally.
Right,
And
but that's
you
different
don't
than
have
if
that
there isn't a
support.
developer, right? Like, it's... If they wanted to make the game, they could find a developer and give them the time and the space.
They
to
could.
make the game.
But here's the thing:
This
you have
idea that you
tough-
can only
tough
make a
act to
fighting
follow.
game if you've made a fighting game, I think is just not a supportable idea. People make fighting games without having worked on fighting games. And if that means hiring a consultant who has worked on fighting games, people do that all the time.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, IG is busy, and if they're busy and they don't want to make the game, that's fine. Then they're not available to do it. But what Phil Spencer's saying isn't we're waiting for IG's schedule to come over. He's saying, oh, we just can't find anybody to make the game. Like, there's a line of people out the door who would be happy to get a contract to make the game.
I honestly feel like it would probably be best if someone, or if a company that is known for experiences with fighting games were to take this on, because like they have the understanding of why you need things like a good netcode experience, like with rollback, and you know you just finally got Spark System finally bow down to that notion and get them to actually do something with the new Guilty Gear, and it's playing pretty well. But then you also
Yeah, it plays very well actually. It's probably the best
on top of and
game
you
other
just
than
need
Killer
to have
Instinct that I've played. In terms
and
of the
oh
netcode.
shit, I'm
Yeah,
up
you-
next, aren't I?
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay.
We'll hold your spot for intellectual. I
But
still
like-
put my marker on the table as it's hogwash. If they wanted to make it, they'd make it. They don't want to make it, so they're not making it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where they're entertained by the idea of what they can do with Killer Instinct, but they're not really entertained enough to, because it's Microsoft. Microsoft could create their own company, hire all the best of the people, come in. You know, they could get Ken
Jesus,
Loft.
look at what they paid Ninja
Yeah.
for a streaming service that they abandoned a year later. So,
But you
and
don't want a
I
company that
understand
who's
that's
just going to take it up and half-ass it, because like this game
Correct.
has a really tough act to follow.
It's true, but I remember when Double Helix was making it, and the whole community was like, who are these assholes? They've never made any fighting games, they're gonna screw this up. And everybody was like that until IG took over, and then it was like, we want Double Helix back. So, I mean, the whole, you can't make a fighting game, these guys have no experience. That all of that was said about Double Helix when they got Killer Instinct. It was, why would you give this story fighting game franchise to the Earthworm Jim guys? Like, people said all of that stuff then, and then we got Killer Instinct. And I think there's something to be said for people with new ideas who are not limited by what everybody expects a fighting game to do.
I mean, I get your argument, but at the same time, like, I feel like that's an argument to show that the community doesn't know what to talk about. I mean,
No question. They don't.
yeah. So I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know what developers could do it. I get your point that Microsoft could, like, you know, they could hire, I don't know, they could hire a Japanese developer to do it, but I don't know. I guess that's,
I don't know
that
if
is
it'd
your
be the
point.
same
That's
Killer Instinct if we did that.
I don't know if it'd be the same if you got anybody other than IT.
True. Yeah, that's a very
You
valid.
have to get Double Helix to start it on to the finish it to get the signature. And I guess, just to sort of take it back to the characters who, you know, one of the things about Killer Instinct is there's 3 games in the series, and they're all very, very different from each other. They're not, it's not Tekken, and I'm sorry to all the Tekken fans out there, but I can't find the difference between Tekken 7 and 3, except for how it looks. So,
sucks.
it's not, Killer Instinct is not that. It's a different series.
I would argue that Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat are the only fighting games that aren't based on, like, some sort of legacy. You know what I mean? Every game is some type of, is different. Although, like, Mortal Kombat, I guess, yeah, there is legacy in there, but not, the legacy is, like, with the
I think that's
engine they use.
Yeah, and Juxtapose pointed that out in his text message to his Canadian friend.
Yeah, he was saying that as soon as he was saying it too. It was not like Jake's moment.
And I think that's fair. Maybe not as different as the 3KI games, but they have done. And I give NetherRealm a lot of credit. They've made bold choices, right? That's why you have people who like MKX and don't like MK11.
Yeah.
I think they have to do that, otherwise they're just making the same game.
I agree. I would agree. That's why Mortal Kombat is still alive, because it's so different. If it was the same thing every time, people would just get bored of it.
Like, we lose sight, right? Because we're all, I mean, I don't know what everybody's personal preferences are, but we're all fighting game guys, otherwise we wouldn't really be here still playing.
Hold on, don't give me that title now. Hold on.
8 or 9 years.
Don't give me that title. Okay, I might be OD, but I'm not God, okay? Like, okay?
No, fighting game guys, UYS.
Oh, okay.
Calm down.
Yeah.
I thought he said God. I was like, oh, what?
Oh, heck no.
Is that
Yeah.
God?
Yeah, let's avoid any complexes here.
The point
said-
I'm trying to make is that it's 4 million casual players
not convince
buy
Ragnarok
Mortal
or
Kombat
something.
every single time it comes out, and they're not buying the same game. They
True.
want-
You know, I think my frustration, of course, with NRS games is that the combo system is just not fun. To me, it's just really not fun. It's all
Yeah,
about
really-
dial-up combos.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
what
about-
I was about to say. It
It's all
really feels
dial-up
like a dial-up
combos.
combo, and wait for the hit confirm, and then try to see if you can follow that up with any kind of string.
See, that's
And
what
it's
I
just-
love about.
I mean, people don't have to enjoy stuff. That's different than it's not good, right?
I mean,
I think MK11 is better that way than MKX. MKX was run up, mix up into combo, and MK11 has a lot more neutral play, which I tend to enjoy. Like I said, I'm not claiming it's better, but I tend to enjoy it.
And I know
Who
you
said
visited
that,
this point a while back, but like, I really hate
Sadira?
that it sounds like, yeah. No, I really hate how it kind of feels like, you know, I do know Microsoft costs a lot of money to acquire Bethesda, acquire all these companies, and it's like, it sounds like what you're kind of saying is like Microsoft costs money at problem, it go away. And I don't feel like that's an attitude we want to take in like the development of this, because it's like it boils this game down to a cash grab, and it stands as something
Yeah.
so much more
So-
than a cash grab.
I agree with you completely, and I think the reason this game is good is not because they went and found a fighting game developer to develop it. I actually think that's... I think we're agreeing, but from the opposite point of view. I think throwing money at somebody just because they made Melty Blood isn't going to get a good KI. When Double Helix made their proposal... It's just a fighting game. I used it
Yeah,
as an example
I-
because it's an obscure fighting game.
Real burn time.
Melty
A lot
Blood.
of those anime
Oh, yeah, I
fighters
saw
are
videos
obscure.
on that. I was like, what on earth is Melty Blood? GG.
Victory.
Double Helix produced a vision and a prototype of what they wanted to do with KI because they
Yeah.
really felt strongly they wanted to do the project, not
Well, how-
because they had experience.
Okay,
So
true,
get
but
somebody
then how
who really
many,
wants to
how
do
many,
it.
how many companies are coming to Microsoft with a vision then? Who's
great
coming
question.
forward to
I don't
present
know.
their vision?
But let
And
me ask.
I don't think they're wanting to shop around for a vision. I think they are kind of wanting. I think they're waiting to be approached again, and it's like
Maybe.
the
They
only
put
people
out a
who
call,
really
though,
want
for
to approach them
proposals
have
for-
more on their plate already.
KI.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think they announced it at some point, like all the different developers that reached out to him. But like, Double Helix was the only one that brought a demo to him, so that was why they chose him. But I know IG was one of the ones that put their feelers out, said they want to do it. But I don't know who else.
Has anyone ever seen the video of the 360 version prototype?
Yeah, yeah.
It's surprising.
I mean, it's
good.
cool and
It
all.
looks a little trash, but it's surprising how much of what
Nice.
made it into the game is already
Yeah.
just kind of the combo flow and stuff.
I mean, it obviously had its jank because they're developing it on inferior hardware,
Yeah.
but it's like even for that, it still looked pretty cool. And now that prototype is in the hands of a private collector who doesn't look like he's going to be dumping the. He doesn't look like he's going to be dumping it out anytime soon for the internet enthusiasts to see it. But I mean, it's history preserved.
Yeah. I get preserving history. I'm not sure why anybody would want to play that. I mean, just
You
play
never
this-
know. It's like, why do people play alpha versions of games that they've already played in detail retail? Like, what could you learn from an alpha version of Dark Souls or something? It's like, well, plenty actually. And probably one
I
of
don't
my
wanna
favorite
play
games
the
of all
release
time
version
has
of
an
Dark
interesting
Souls.
alpha.
God, but it's
Anyone
a
heard of
fair
Soul
one.
Reaver?
Oh yeah.
It's that legacy.
Soul River, great.
Dude, like, that has an interesting story on its alpha. Like, that game, by the time it went to retail, they had to cut a whole third of what they had planned out of it.
Supreme victory!
So the alphas actually contain a lot of that cut content, and it's just interesting to see through it.
Man, I guess it would be interesting to play an alpha, but at the same time, you're playing through a seriously buggy mess.
True.
I don't know if I can handle it, to be honest with you. I like less.
Well, it was like Jago, Saber,
like
and
games that
Thunder at
work.
the time. I saw that. So, where am I on?
It's
Alright,
it's your-
I'm sorry
it's your-
taking us off topic for so long, but
That's okay.
okay. So now, well, one of the
I'll be
things we
right
were
back.
talking Of course, we talked about characters that obviously are kind of overpowered. Not really overpowered, but kind of really strong.
Sadira.
I
Yeah,
agree,
she's
Sadira
whatever.
needs nerfs.
No, she does not need nerfs. She needs a
What?
I
buff.
just think she needs to be taken out of the game.
She's annoying, but I mean, it's
No,
like
here-
you
here's
get her in a
the thing.
corner and she dies.
It's not even like 2 combos.
Is that
like,
true though? Really?
Dude,
Just play
it's
Dragon Ball
ridiculous.
Fighters. You'll be able to block her a lot more
Yeah,
than you
it's
can.
like you just gotta hit her and not let her hit you.
Yeah, but see what Ragnarok likes to do, he likes to play Super Mario. So, kind of hard.
I'm trying to pick somebody that has a good anti-air. I don't know. This is ridiculous. There we go. Kill him. Kill her.
We're tired of your shit, lady.
Wait, you're supposed to just die in the corner, aren't you? I've been lying to you.
Need an April Fool's event right now. Put Sadira in the corner, she dies instantly.
Does Ulysses' the black attack heavy, does that stop her from jumping or no?
Seem to consistently. I got him now once, but usually I don't.
Glacia is actually one of her is a difficult match for her, to be honest. Because, well, because it was a bad matchup in S1 in season 1.
Well, she was
Well,
way
it's
weaker
not.
than season 1 than she is now. I'm wondering, like, her
We had
Ulysses' just heavy kick, will that shut her down?
Which one?
Jump heavy? That at least keep her out of the air.
because she can jump over it and it gets hit by the spider by weapon.
Fucking knee. Nice.
Wonder what he'll do next.
Kind of fucking corn dog.
Might
Glacier
jump.
better watch out.
There we go. Her out, I don't know.
It is
Kill her.
surprising the anti-airs you can pull off against Glacius, because, like, I have found that there's some weird hitbox interactions with his extended legs.
Definitely.
So I guess
Yeah.
it's like a
He
price
gets
to
hit.
pay for having a Dawson like image.
That's right.
Yeah.
He gets hit with this a lot.
Also found that spamming cold shoulder is a real bad idea.
I know damn well he
Except that it's always a good idea.
I mean, like if you can panic, they aren't
You know
gonna
what
press
you-
buttons
you
against
know
it.
what
But
you
like,
did? I'll tell you something, Andy. Why that you actually could have beat me very easily. You jumped back to the other side of the screen You should have been poking me and then doing like his shatter, doing light shatter, and then pokes into heavy, then putting hail.
Oh, stressful. You're not queued up, buddy.
What?
And if you'd done that, it would have.
I
It would have made
close.
it. Yeah,
I mean,
came
you
close.
say that, but you don't have no tools when I'm poking. And you hit me a couple of times when I was right there poking you. And if I miss and you jump up and then bop me on the head, then it doesn't help me a lot.
Well,
so
also remember,
there's an
he has a
element
DP.
of I can't do what you
Yeah.
think I'm going to do, otherwise you get me.
Okay.
So
But you
you're
also have a
saying-
DP. You have
You're
a DP.
saying that Zadira needs nerfs.
No,
Yes.
she needs. She needs a. We were actually. When I was talking with
Yeah,
Samuel
but
D.
he's not
and you
positive
could-
on block, you know that, on his DP, right?
It's
just, like, throw that out
positive if
there,
she's in
aren't
the
we?
air.
Nobody's positive on
Yeah,
block
but
on
you
their
hit
DPs.
that.
If she's in the air, you can still.
Her, whatever you call the little web dagger throws, they hit his DP. He doesn't just bop her on it. There's all kinds of crazy interactions. He doesn't just knock her out of the air on those things with his DP.
Oh, I was lame. Didn't.
Native American getting angry.
The other thing is his DP is, like, it doesn't hit you if you're, like, right over top of him. You have to be in front.
I've never seen such deadly open jumps in neutral. Oh! Thunder was like, taste my forehead.
Oh. Yeah, this is actually Sadira's worst matchup.
Yeah, because he can go through her nine.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah,
As long as
Widow's
you
fine.
guess the correct direction to do Simon Mission. Like that, like super close. It's just. But you can use the drop kick follow up to just momentum his way into a
Yeah.
long.
I also consider that with his Chamonix, if you do the medium version of it, he can literally fly across the screen. So she can't get away from him anymore like she used to in season 1. Where
I
she
couldn't get the DP to come out for it all. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when I play
Will,
Shin,
you gotta get in line, pal.
Yeah,
He's
you
like,
go. You up, buddy?
You're
You're spectating.
I was gonna spectate.
I think,
He just waits till
I think
somebody
he was
beats
like,
the dude.
I think he said he'd be back at one point. I don't.
Oh, okay.
No, he was like, hey, you know, if somebody
Bathroom
beats
break.
Zadira, then I'll be back.
All right. He's just watching, just waiting for Ragnarok to lose. I say, I'm gonna wait. As soon as I see him
goes-
low health, I'm clicking unspectate.
Like, he says as soon as he goes down. But no, I'll tell you what, the competition is getting a lot tougher. Everyone's getting better, so it's like my character, my Sadira isn't just steamrolling everybody.
Except me. I'm so garbage.
You're not garbage.
I
You're
am
not
garbage.
garbage.
I'm
Aw.
trash.
I'm just gonna sit there and stare at you then. It's sympathy win. Here's a sympathy win.
Man, Jux, my queen.
There you go, throwing the fire bombs.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, I would have guessed he would have probably like hit a medium or something, and then did that. He has two of them.
Nah, it's just a second version. Stay away from me.
Oh, I didn't have either. I don't have a full bar.
Oh. Keep a bomb on her. Keep her on the ground.
He goes, I don't have to. Look how much life I have.
Oh.
There we go.
I'm not even using my hands! Why is she coming out? Oh!
Oh.
No, come on. Game, don't you? What's going on, KI? I'm so close to the next in the match. You just kicked me out, I'm assuming? No, no. Okay.
What? Yeah. That was not gonna work.
I can't get my web won't come out at all. My web won't come out. It's like,
Oh no!
I like the way this is going. I stepped away for a second. I like it where it's in. Step
that's
away
it, we knew.
more often.
yeah.
That's what we
It's
like
like,
to see.
it's like,
Can
it's
you
like,
just burn her
well,
again while she's on?
kill them. Kill them. This is a
Burn
bad
the
matchup
witch.
for. This is a bad matchup for Sadira because he occupies the same air she
Sorry,
does.
aren't they all bad
And he has a
matchups
D-
for
Yeah, I was
Shadira?
about to
Haven't we
say the same
established that?
Well, yeah, almost. Yeah, well,
It's easier to
pretty
list
much.
Sadira's good matchup.
Spinal. She's good against
Wow, that
Spinal.
was a short list.
She does. Actually, she does surprisingly well against. It's even, but she does surprisingly well against Rash. And
I am ready for Jarnowska. I want Jarnowska. I want to run back.
Uh-oh.
I want to run back. I want to be destroyed
Jesus,
by
didn't
him.
we just get
what
rid
you
of
don't
Sadira?
realize is that just had
There we
Samuel
were.
D. Samuel D. take over. So
Now
he's
we've got
gonna
a
do all sorts of
Canadian Sadira.
Canadian. Well, if you fry her, it should be Canadian bacon at that point.
The spider,
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I would not want to be you today.
Yinditon rap sueb concha.
The Red Riding Hood Sadira.
Yeah, when before her new. Oh wow, vicious.
Jackson said, I'm done. I'm done with Cinder.
He says, "You beat my fellow Sadira." Samuel D. There's a way that they showed a way that he can actually use her recluse against his DP, but the timing is stupid strict. Here's a bomb for you.
Oh, shit.
Boom. Down up, down up, down up. That's all I have to do. Down up.
You are not making fun of somebody for doing the same thing over and over again.
No, you're like a down. It's down up. The dude doesn't have a down up DP.
Oh, man.
That's a meter.
I would have gave Jackson $5 if he fucking kind of protested. Oh my god.
that just doesn't work. It's like that was like the worst move in the whole game.
think-
It's like a shadow.
You
web
should have
thing.
used like the
I
ballerina.
think he was trying to get the hell out of there.
Good game, YouTube does.
Yeah. No, the problem with that is like with shadow web cleaning, it's supposed to be invincible till you hit the wall, but it creates a wall right where you're being hit, so you just anyway. They're trashing our bacon.
Don't trash your bacon.
Back bacon, right? Hey, it's good.
Eh?
Has anyone played Stick of Truth?
Oh,
No.
I used to a lot.
I watched a friend of mine play that. Apparently, all of Canada is 8-bit.
Yeah, it's 8-bit. I was like, doesn't seem right.
The South Park,
South
the
Park,
Stick of
yeah.
Truth.
Oh, the stick of truth.
Apparently, in that game, Canada is an explorable area, and it's all 8-bit, like Nintendo.
And if you get hurt by a bear or a snake, whatever, you get dire AIDS or some shit like that.
It's not just regular AIDS. You get the dire version. You get super AIDS.
Because your teammate's like, you could be like, hey, if you beat the game with dire AIDS, you know.
Cars
leg
have
up.
square wheels.
I have faced the blood of the silence truth. I will quell
I
your
hate
thunder
this
and
matchup.
douse your flame.
Well, at least it wasn't like Zadira.
Wow, somebody was thinking the same thing. I'm gonna walk up and grab him. Grab him.
Do that.
Reek. Who's that? There's this one player who does one pro player that does really good with Arbiter.
Sonic Dolphin does it.
Sonic Dolphin, but there's one I face all the time. I don't know what happened to Vertigo. It's like
I'm
he's
actually
supposed to
so
be.
far out of the tournament scene for this game. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Oh!
There's been a lot of online tournaments lately. I don't really watch it anymore, but a lot of activity I see on Twitter. People are having online tournaments.
I imagine so. They got the World Cup going on still.
Yeah.
I keep seeing tweets about it here.
Can't you parry the speed?
Carry everything, can't
He
you?
can parry anything. That's the beauty of Arbiter.
Except maybe those. But those will, if he has a shield up, it don't matter though.
That's correct, you know. Just like Sadira's webs, it's like when he pops instinct, her instinct doesn't matter at all anymore, other than the jump canceling stuff, because none of her webs stick.
Yeah, the price he pays for all that stuff is he doesn't have super amazing mix-ups to open you up like almost everything.
Yeah, he has like super long.
It's like all over overhead.
Once he gets into a corner,
Chip him out. Working.
No! I wanted it bad.
it's okay. Good. That was a really good.
Oh no.
Good shadow.
Yeah.
Good shadow counter. sucks.
I'm going away. I'm going away.
Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
Yes!
There's always another
Finally! God damn it, Glacius!
Oh, man.
It's your
That
turn
was
now.
good
Fuck.
stuff from both of you.
Oh my
That
god
was.
damn it.
I-
Yeah, I like that.
I
a
did
lot.
not
was
realize the
sincere.
clock.
I saw the clock. I was like, I'm gonna just walk backwards.
Not many timeouts happen in KI, right?
Usually,
Not
though, it's,
often.
if there's
Well,
ever
like
a
when me
timeout,
and
usually it's
Ragnarok
bad.
were first playing a lot, that happened all the time.
Only if you're
Oh.
holding up all the time.
Jesus Christ. That was crazy.
All right, so
It's like,
what
I can block it, I
characters
can block it.
absolutely have to come back if there's another KI? Nobody mentioned anybody that didn't want to come back except Sadir.
Arbiter, damn it. I want Arbiter back. I don't care.
Well, I think the characters that most likely won't come back, or if they ever did one, the boss characters, I think you can count on Gargos and Idol
that's true.
being gone.
Yeah.
Which
Yes,
I
sir.
don't
I
mind.
agree.
I think because I think Idol, I think had
I hate Idol.
had Microsoft spent more money and stayed on. No, Glacius will Glacius. Well, he'll be back.
That's who. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Saberwolf?
He's
No,
listing
he's
the ones
saying
who
who
next
he
need to
wants
be
to
back.
come back. That's,
So there are some characters that have been in all of them.
I
Like
will quell
Glacius,
your thunder.
Yes, Saberwolf, Jago, Orchid.
Spinal.
I think Spinal. Sadira, I think, is the first original
Oh.
character.
You
She has to
serious?
keep back.
What the hell? Man,
Who dropped?
I don't know.
Wait,
I hope it was not
Ragnarok.
me.
oh no,
No.
It was me! Are you
yeah.
serious?
sorry.
I get the fucking crown. I get the crown.
Later.
I disconnect. What the hell? I did all the goddamn work and I beat a goddamn fireball with a goddamn lightning beam, and I get kicked out the damn lobby. What the hell? Now I'm all the way back down to 7. God fucking damn it. What the
No,
hell?
you know what it is? What it
that's
is Iron Flame is controlling the he's controlling the the lobby. He goes, nope.
No, no.
Man,
No,
I
then
control
wanna
again,
fight-
that
vertical.
was true. He
We
would have knocked me.
control the
I would have never
horizontal.
been able. That's the thing is, if he was controlling it, I would have never had a chance. It's like, oops. I'm sorry, Webb. You almost won, but you got bumped again.
I wanted to go up
TJ.
against fucking Andy so goddamn bad, man. Fuck.
You
I
really
was like, yes,
don't.
finally.
I'm not special.
I
Yeah,
almost
but I never went up
fight
against you
Andy.
before.
He was
Fair
about
enough.
to take my lunch money.
Okay.
My fight money!
Like that.
My fight money. Who said that? Who said that? My
Balrog.
the Balrog clone.
Right now, TJ's having my fight money.
I cannot tell which of those are which.
Just straight jabs are light. Body blows are mediums, and uppercuts are heavies. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was your life flashing before your eyes, and you knew you had to do something.
Block screens.
Yes.
Nobody ever expects the Spanish Inquisition.
American resets right after you drop your combo and then hit the guy again.
Yeah, that's where you say I meant to do that.
Totally on purpose.
But it's also totally. I meant to do that. I'm bleeding,
Nice.
making me the victim.
Remember C Styles?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, okay. He was a really good Glacius. Me
He
and him
was
used to play all the time.
better than me.
I thought he was an Argonaut.
He
Well, he did
have
play. He did on
I beat him on stream one time as he was playing as Argonaut.
Yeah, I did. I beat his Argonos. I used to beat his. When I played Saberwolf, I would beat his Glacius. But and then I went to Sadira, and then it was a much more difficult matchup.
Okay.
Uh oh, here comes the life.
Damn it!
700%.
That freaking that invincible reversal of TJ, that'll get you almost every time. This is just the absolute
game, man.
delay.
Really good.
Oh yeah, it's not over.
Even better.
Yep.
Yep.
He said round 3, damn. Oh, he said round 4, actually. Sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those Evo moments where you got up from the controller to it.
Good game.
That was fun. Well, you know,
that time.
you know, when you with TJ, when he goes into his last stand, or I guess that's what it's called, the last
You can
stand.
kind of bop him
Yeah.
out of it.
You can, if you have a
Projectile invincible?
projectile move, you can actually charge into it.
Yeah, I thought he
which
was
is
gonna
pretty-
do like the puddle, just go into a puddle and make me miss
Avoid
or
it.
something. Yeah.
I think I've actually
Alright.
seen a Glacius do that before. That's when
I do
TJ
not want Shin Hisako back or Kilgore.
Yeah, those two
Yeah.
are just, I don't know what the fuck they were doing
Goodbye.
with those characters.
And
They
I
were
know,
just like,
I
fuck it,
know
let's just make
we're
2 characters.
Shadow J
probably
goes, can
shouldn't
go away as
expect
well.
guest characters to come back,
What?
but I so want Rash.
No.
Oh yeah, Rash is one.
Rash is-
I don't know.
Well, one
Rash
of the
is
things that
amazing.
sometimes happens is they take a character and give them some aspects of the moveset of a guest character. So, like, I could see them doing that with Arbiter. You could get a guy with a sword
Yeah.
and a gun.
Oh,
But
just
Rash
imagine,
some of that
just
stuff.
imagine
Yeah,
they give
Rash
Sadira
would be
Rash's moves along with
Plus
hers.
he's rare family, dude.
So
You gotta-
she flies
you
into
gotta-
the air. She now has a shield.
That's a great idea. Then they could just not put her in the game. She gets Rash.
I heard someone talk about like Gears of War guest characters. Someone was talking about they want Marcus Phoenix in this game. I was like,
Man, I wanted
It's
Micro
like,
Phoenix
why?
to red in Mortal Kombat. That's what I wanted.
It's like putting a box of vanilla ice cream into the game.
I was like, no, I think they were okay with it.
Well, it's like, what is it gonna do, Mel?
Nice timing.
That's a good bait.
Oh,
Even better.
I didn't even see it on my screen, so you timed it just right.
Want that?
Do the air grab.
Oh man.
Grenade set
Not much to
grenade
do.
grab.
Jurnoska covered himself. He had the safety net. Blam!
Yeah, you should have done a heavy jab.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah. Oh,
Late.
that was bad.
Should have neutral jumped and clicked A. But that works too. Okay, he got it. You see, he got it. Let me shut up. He knows how to play Glacius. He knows what he's doing.
Jurnoska making
Got the
big brain
brakes.
plays right now.
Yeah.
He is fourth dimension. That shadow cash out.
Ooh.
Watch the feetsies.
Oh,
Good reset.
I know. Oh, great.
Uh-oh.
Oh god.
You were a little too far away for that big hit. That would have meated her.
It was, yeah.
Oh, God, that damn knee, man. That hurts
Oh.
a lot.
This is it. This is it.
Oh.
Oh,
I'll jump out.
moments. These moments.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
My
damn.
the control, I've got my microphone on, ran out of that, or it turns off every 6 minutes or whatever, and it
Yeah.
turned off right at the end.
Same
there.
here.
That was a great game, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, that was good.
No, it was good.
I'm kind of like Donatello. It's a Kodak moment.
That was some impressive breaking. He's been studying the tape.
He has been studying the art of Killer Instinct.
All right, back to this
He has
lopsided
these
matchup that I will easily win.
Yes.
That's like Babe Ruth calling it out into the outfield.
He keeps saying how easy it is.
Oh shit!
I got a
Big
DP
guy
now.
girl.
I got a DP now, bud.
Yeah, the DP's not what I'm worried about.
They should have given Shin Hisako like a pyramid head accessory. That would have just fulfilled the illusion.
That would have been pretty awesome. Pyramid Head from Silent Hill, I assume.
I mean,
Shinsaku's such a weird character. I don't
didn't she?
He's really weird. It's got all
I like
the
original better.
difficulty of break-ins that comes with Hisako.
Yeah, I like classic better.
Yeah.
I mean, the original Hisako is just an absolute mind scramble because she has you afraid of counters and you have to do unusual tactics against her. Nobody can play their usual game against regular Hisako.
That's true. I am a hard
Mac,
time
that's-
to keep track of that here.
That's one of the best things about this game anyway. Just every character is almost playing like their own game anyway.
Yeah,
So you gotta like.
you really gotta
Yeah.
know the
And there's a
matchups.
lot of
Every character
individuality.
has so much dirty stuff. Like,
Yeah.
all kidding
There's a lot of-
aside, it's tough to complain because they're all so crazy.
There's also a lot of individuality to the characters because no two players who play the same character play that character the exact same way.
Yeah.
You can see a lot of people, like some people use Glacius one way, some people will take to a different set of tactics using him, but there's so much tech out there, it's like you have your own freedom to do personal expression with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, take that Street Fighter 5.
Man, I would play Street Fighter more than I played any other fighting game in the past like year.
I
That
hate
is
that
stupid.
move. I hate it. It's like there are two tracking grabs in the game. There's Arbiters, and then there is Shin Hisako. And it's just like tracking grabs. At what point did that sound like a good idea?
You're jumping around like you're playing.
Tell her to go away. Tell her to go away. Oh, damn.
Oh.
No! Oh, it was. Oh,
DP train.
I have a DP too! I can't shoot him
teeth.
I have.
Battle of the DP.
It's like, I got a DP now.
To be
That
honest, I was kind of
sounded
waiting.
weird.
I was like, maybe he's gonna do Shadow DP. No, he didn't do it. I was like, oh, okay.
Nah, he didn't do it.
I think he would have won. I don't know.
If it had hit, I would have won. The problem is if you block it, then there's nothing. I mean, I guess it's true for a DP too, but it just takes so long and sits there giving you all the in the world to think about what combo you're gonna hit after.
Well, we got two spiders. Got two spiders.
Yeah, following up after a DP gives you too much time to think.
You remember when Sadira's webs, when you got trapped forever?
You might have to refresh my memory on that one. I'm not exactly sure. What
Yeah,
that
it was like I think it was like a couple of, it was like 2 or 3 seconds. And it's like we were used to joke that with Sadira, we used to be able to go make a sandwich, go to the restroom, take a shower, and they would still be trapped in her web.
Dang.
That was like early on, right? Like really early on.
Yeah,
That.
and it does
I
like
can
hella
remember a lot
damage
of
too.
things in season 1, but that.
Oh, this is annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
Meaty jump.
At some point, it stops being meaty and more vegetable-y.
Oh.
Who's you guys' favorite ultimate in this game?
My favorite ultimate is Thunder's.
He gives people
Ultimate.
COVID-19. He gives
like
people
Tusk's.
COVID-19. He gives them COVID-19.
No, he
I have a lot of
basically
favorites.
turns them into toast. He
I
stomps
like
you,
Lego
then he
Steelers.
electrocutes you into toast.
I like Sadira's, obviously because I like Sadira, but I'm trying to think. I like also Hisako's is just really creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jago's Spirit Bomb kind of, kicks the bucket for me.
Aganosis is pretty good too. I like
Yeah.
faces too.
I really like Cinder's ultimate. Oh wait.
He doesn't have one.
He does that one.
Well, think about Spinal doesn't have one either.
Nah.
Yeah.
Dude, they could have did something real simple with him to make it look cool, like fire.
He just-
okay, like burn the motherfucker. You know what I mean? No, they didn't give him that.
I don't even
Riptors
remember what
is adorable.
Aghanos is. What does Aghanos do?
He
He
like encases you in like walls, and then he like makes a ramp and he spins out and he jumps off the ramp and he smashes the walls. And he says,
Gotcha.
pretty cool.
It's sounding vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
Pretty much took
He is
each
one of the more
pancake.
exciting ones. I mean, I wish I could. I wish I was good enough to do one on you guys, but yeah. Yeah, Agnos was one of the characters I was really trying to play as back in the day, but like, yeah, I can't deal with like severe jumping and stuff, so I don't know.
Aghanos is a tough character to learn. Like he's really a zone, which is so counterintuitive to
Yeah.
the way he looks and moves.
Yeah, like I was really like the way I approach this game is like really footsie based, or I try to be footsie based, but like what was it, season 2, I guess? That's when they like added the juggles and they went insane with it, and so I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. Like Cinder, I really love Cinder. He looks cool. He's amazing. But I can't play the way you need to play to have success with Cinder. Can't
Yeah.
do this kind of stuff.
don't worry, I can't either.
Oh, that was lame. It's like I wasn't even trying to do that.
Imagine Cinder and Avenger.
Have you all you
Cinder on
guys read
Tinder.
the comic book for AI?
No.
I haven't.
I know of
Yeah.
it, but I have never read it.
Yeah, when you guys were asking like what characters should come back, I was really thinking of it more from like a lore perspective. There are a lot of characters because the comic book ends the story for it. Comes after like the Shadow Lords modes in this game. Like there are characters that probably, if they were going to go by the story, which they probably wouldn't, but that wouldn't come back. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, the rumor
saw
was it
that.
was pretty good. The art on the covers and stuff always looked
Yeah, I mean it was short. It was like what, like six comics. Yeah. They did end the story. But like, yeah, without giving spoilers, like Aghanos would be gone. Gargos would be
Conrad.
gone. Yeah, well, Conrad's still around.
Oh, okay.
What's his name? He wasn't in the comic book. He'd probably be gone too. Kim Woo would be gone. Well, no, he might be back. I don't know. Like there were a lot of characters that weren't in the comic that right here. Sadira wasn't in the comic, so I guess it wouldn't be. She could go or stay. Either one.
Oh, Jesus!
He blew himself up. I didn't do it.
Too much fun!
Jesus. And reincarnated the Taco Bell toilet.
I had the Machaco.
Oh God. Yep. Yep.
What?
More one win streaks than he. Here comes Arbiter to kick my ass.
Oh, I just realized I chose the wrong Arbiter. God dang it. One of my Halo 5 Arbiter, man.
Any Arbiter can beat me.
Oh,
It's like you could have picked the pink Arbiter, it would have won.
The pink
oh
Arbiter.
God.
It probably would have won the best.
Just throwing you off.
Yeah, that's what it's doing.
I have faced the flood and silenced truth. I will quell your thunder.
I feel like this skin just tells everyone that Arbiter likes finger painting. Wow.
Does it have any, like, I'm not really into Halo, I've played a few of them. Does it have any, like, Halo justification for him to be dressed like that, or did they just say, hey, that was
Nope. Yeah, they were just like, hey, that was cool. Oh, shit.
like Maui Arbiter?
He's like, he says, he's against the, oh wow.
What did Juxtapose
It's not
say?
going well.
Read faster.
He said no, there's no,
Oh,
there's
gotcha.
nothing, no story.
I did.
Motherfucker! Oh no!
That was a rough trade. Does the Cinder's forward Shadow always beat Arbiter's Shadow Sword, or was that just a timing thing?
It was a timing thing. Oh,
man.
damn it. Man, that fucking first round was a fucking cake for you, man. Jesus Christ. You fucking bent me over, hit me in the eyes with a spiked belt, dude. Jesus
I am just.
Christ.
I'm trying my best to be unpredictable. That's all I am. It's like if I get accidental hits, it's like, oh, a conversion. But rest assured, this is all by most of what I'm doing is by accident. I'm accidentally like this.
He goes, I'm an accidental champion.
6 accidentals.
He's like,
I'd
oops.
rather be lucky than good.
I walked
I
into Evo and I walked out the champ. I didn't even know what happened in between.
He says, I didn't even know I was going to Evo. I thought I was going to a taco stand, and boom, I won a championship.
No, it's like normally, yeah, Arbiter messes me up because he's oh my.
Ooh.
I like this is a fun one for me. I like this. It comes down to better player. Because if Saberwolf wins, he know what to do. That I feel like this is a tough one for Saber, and when he wins, that he really wins.
I feel like Saberwolf has a lot of tough matchups. I really like playing him. I've never caught up with him in Season 3. I don't really understand his instinct. But he was a lot of fun in Season 1 and Season 2.
Yeah, I liked him in Season 1, I liked him in Season 2. But they made him more really juggle. Flash is really amazing. He has a really amazing saber work.
He's a great entry point for the game because you see his moves. It's obvious what they're for. Right? He's got high low mix-ups on his run. He's quick. Always be jabbing. And then he's got some fun stuff that he can do off of He's not safe on that, is he? When Cinder hits the ground off of that.
On what?
Heavy torpedo that he does, where he jumps up in the air and comes down on a diagonal. It's not plus on block.
You can make it safe,
Yeah.
but no, he's not technically.
Oh, I thought he was going to go into Eclipse.
I definitely tried.
Yeah,
I was expecting Eclipse.
Yeah, looks like just another good timing.
He's a good dog. That's the German Shepherd version of Saberwolf. Yeah, I have a German Shepherd. His actual name is Shadow, too.
Ouch. Not Shadow, the king.
I thought he said I was one as a child. Like, what? I was once a German Shepherd as a child, but...
Now I'm a turtle.
I'm a turtle.
I couldn't get my pounce to come out at all. That was
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like a weird interaction at the end. You kind of did a little duck.
30. Oh
Nothing
my
happened.
gosh. So you've had him since you were a kid.
I was fixing to say. That's an old German Shepherd.
Chicken loop to 80. Wow.
That's something to pass on in the family.
Yeah.
Now, Billy, this turtle
belongs to your
Sit well. Nice.
it belongs in our family for the last 50 years.
yeah. You gotta get that whistle going.
I wish I could do the whistle through my teeth, but I can't.
Yeah, I can't do one.
On the S syllable.
Yep.
She passed some eggs on Friday.
Too much
I'll fry 'em
information.
up.
And she ate them.
Even
No.
more information I could have done without. I'm gonna be sick.
Where's the turtle? I thought it was for soup.
It's Canada, man. They would use it as a hockey puck.
That's funny.
I'm ready.
Target
Ready.
spotted.
I'm ready. I want this.
I'm one step closer to. I'm one plus closer to stepping out, as Maximilian would say.
I'm
not ready
You
for
going
this.
to CEO this year?
I think that's
Not so
silent.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never actually been.
No?
No,
It
when
always
I
seemed
was-
like fun, but I got crazy.
Because it always seem like fun, but I have kids, and well, they're not fun, so I don't have.
Kids are definitely fun. It's hard to justify for a weekend.
Yeah, I haven't been. I haven't been to too many. I guess the CEO is one of the ones that's the closest here. So yeah, I would take a weekend to go every so often. Be the only trip I take away from the crew.
It's cool. Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
like
like-
one closer to me. I might use it.
Yeah.
It's like for tournament wise, it's when I was playing fighting games like when I was younger, they didn't have tournaments. I mean, it was in the '90s, so it was the tournament would go
Back
to
in my
arcade.
day.
Back in my day, we would go to the arcade and we would play Mortal Kombat, almost any fighting game. Never was big into Killer Instinct though. As a kid, I thought it was just Killer Instinct. It was like Mortal Kombat clone.
Yeah. I mean, I was around during the arcade days. I was still kind of young to participate in any tournaments or anything like that. Yeah, KI
speaking
was,
Yeah, I played it a lot.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
KI.
Speaking of our tournament players, Storm is actually coming to is going to be living where I live in my city.
Oklahoma City, yeah.
Yeah,
his soccer
and
player,
so-
Storm.
Yeah,
Perfect Storm.
moving back to
I'm
the
excited.
States from Singapore.
I'm excited. So sometime next month we're supposed to meet up with him. So
Okay, good
That'd
game.
be
He's
great.
crushing it in
game,
Strive. Have you
Jornoska.
been following him on Twitter?
No,
He's like the
what's he
number
playing?
one wins Guilty Gear Strive. He's like the
Oh,
number
man.
one Giovanna online.
I have never
Yeah,
been
surprising
to
no
a
one.
tournament.
I mean, tournaments are fun, to be honest with you. I mean, I really don't interact with too many people. I mean, like I go down there and meet a couple of people that I know from going to tournaments prior. But yeah, it's fun to go down there and test and play offline. Playing offline is like way different than playing online with like randoms or whatever.
I
Well,
would
one,
love to
there's no
go and
latency.
play. I'm not excited about the tournament aspect of it. There's a part of me too that doesn't want. I mean, not to offend anybody, but they have a reputation for being a lot of sweaty, smelly nerds standing in the
Yeah.
ring, right? I'm not sure that's the experience I'm looking for on my Saturday.
I would say that's in like certain
Comic-Con, but with
communities.
sadness.
But
like,
I don't know, depending on what comes out of Comic Con, there might be still sadness.
To be honest with you, though, like the tournament itself, at least for me, is like not the highlight. It's the casuals. Because when you play with a bunch of other people that are good offline, yeah, you level up a lot.
Nice. Please think about what they're doing. Wow. I don't think that's what he intended, but
No, it was not. I'll take it.
It either goes extremely right for me or extremely wrong.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, that was opener answer. I should have.
it's really quick though, that one, so people miss it all the time. I always do it by accident, that wasn't intentional. Usually I get away with it because it's so quick that people miss the breakout.
Another thing, Andy, you could be doing is that after you do a DP and you hit them, do your forward medium, gets a forward medium punch, where he does the
A
land.
little slash thing. Yeah, it doesn't always catch me. Game. Definitely thought about this a little bit more since last time.
I actually took Glacius to last a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it worked.
Supreme victory!
You played a much more conservative game. You just sat there and waited for me to screw up, which is definitely the way to play me.
Good game though.
Will Zakira. Fight on.
Dux, is it cold up there?
I'm gonna need you guys to slow down a little bit in your fights, because I ordered pizza, and I don't want to get my turn in there, and then the fucking pizza guy shows up at the door like, hey, your pizza.
You know he will, like in the middle of a combo breaker.
I'm gonna be like, fucking pizza man, give me my shit.
Here's some money. Give me my pizza. Call me friend.
You're gonna be like, okay.
Jinditon Rapsueb Kong-chan.
I love this music for this stage.
What the heck? What was that stunt?
Yeah, this was a really terrific
This was a really well
way
played
to
stage,
end
yeah.
the season. I mean, Spinal, just as a character design, Fulgor a little bit too, but Spinal especially, when he showed up at the end of season 1, it was clear that they'd had more time to work on it.
Yep.
The thing is if anybody remembers, the surprise on the final two characters was broken well before they came out.
You did not just go up and
The
just
final
that
two
man.
season 1 characters?
Yeah. They have released some sort of special edition that came with some kind of like pins
Yeah.
or something, some sort of metallic pins.
But I don't
And-
think it was ever intended to be a surprise. Because
Well, they
I knew
didn't
about
make
it
any
late in
announcement of it, of who it was, and then in the pin collection, they showed off the final two pins, and it was like, from that, it was an evident guess.
yeah, that sounds.
And it's like,
They had
surprise
these little
on.
symbols, yeah.
Oh yeah, he knew that was coming. It's like he's like, I'm gonna sit here.
If you think about it, though, Spinal is one that's in danger of being a boring character, right? KI1 and KI2, he wasn't that different. Whereas a lot like Glacius is a totally different character in 1 and 2.
I don't know.
So
like,
here you got
Spinal's
Spinal as a
actually pretty
skeleton.
cool.
He's
Especially-
cool to
but
play,
he takes
but his character design, I mean, he's a skeleton. And they
There's
did
only
a
so
lot
much
more
you
with
can do.
this one.
But I like it. I like Spinal. He's a really great character. But he's also
What
a
it-
character. He has great damage too.
Yeah, he does. And I really like in Instinct mode when he gets bouncy, like reflective skulls that go everywhere and fill it up. That's just crazy.
It's a little chaotic.
But I think like what if you gave him alts that made him look like the skeletons on metal covers and stuff like that? Like that one music video, Do the Evolution, where you have that skeleton in the pilot's outfit from the World War II plane, or you have him dress up
yeah.
as a rocker, or you know, there's a billion things you could put a skeleton in and make it look that much more
Cool.
metal.
Yeah, that was one of the
It's
things I
really-
really wish they would have done is add more accessories to put on characters and stuff. Thought that
And
would've been
also
really fun.
get Brendan Small to do Spinal Toys and just, you know, the deep gravelly thing from Light Nathan Explosion. He's being experimental.
Well, if you remember, in 1 and 2, Spinal's big thing was for his enders, he would turn into you. Or he'd
Really?
turn into his opponent and then do
Look,
the ending.
I'm gonna be right up honest with y'all. I never played the originals.
That's okay.
I've played, pretty sure. Fucking Jacob.
They
goddamn.
do not hold
Just
up very
happened.
well. Anybody who says that they're just like really great games, they really don't hold up very well.
I
And I
just
love
like
them
to
at the
play
time.
the one that came with like the definitive editions.
Uh-huh.
I did not do well.
Yeah, the first, I like the second one. I think the second one was my favorite of like the old games because it was more like free flowing and stuff. Plus, they had like everybody had two ultimates, and it was really good. I don't know, I liked it. First
There's a
one was,
lot
is
of
Oh,
really
wow.
good.
crazy hidden stuff
Yeah.
in number 2. They're a little frustrating though because the draw of the game is big combos, but usually big combos is not the best strategy, and playing the computer sucks.
That's a projectile.
Yeah, that was one of the things that this game got right, where they
Yeah.
made the breaker system and the counter breakers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
They nailed
That was
it.
great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love, all the subsystems to this just feel really good.
Yeah.
Shadow counters.
The two-way interaction in combo is so great, and that's
Yeah.
why this will always be my favorite fight. Like,
And I forget who said it in the conversation earlier, but like this is all because of IG here. Double Helix made the base, but like IG is what made this KI what it is now. So, like they did a great job. That's why I wish they would come back, but I don't think they want to.
Oh,
Dude, I don't understand why a shadow attack just gets beat up by a normal. It's a DP is that. It's like a DP, so I don't understand. Why is your DP getting...
are
Look
you
on as
serious?
lost as
It
you are on
happened
this one.
again? I'm so mad.
The first one
I
I
was
know why.
about
The
to be
second one I
next.
don't.
It's like, it's a weird... because it's DPs are invincible, so it's like,
Oh,
it's the starting
son
frame.
of a bitch. Jackson, you see the shit, man? I was next, and then it got kicked out. Now I'm all the way down at the fucking bottom. God damn it. What the hell's going on?
What? What? Wait a minute.
Yeah, how
Oh,
did
Look,
that
I was,
work
I
out?
was, yeah, I was third. I was the next one in line, and we all got disconnected. And I joined back. Everyone else joined back actually, and I'm right back down to goddamn 7.
that sucks.
Ah,
We could all just hit spectate and then come back in the appropriate order.
yeah. That way we can force anyone to fight anyone.
yo, you guys, I'm gonna sit my ass downstairs, wait for this pizza then.
I play on Xbox, so that ain't a problem.
Frequently have to restart my Xbox.
There was a while where they had the 4K update for this game, but it was unplayable.
That's funny, Jeff, because I'm laughing on the inside.
I missed it.
He said generic Xbox support advice. Have you tried a bunch of generic things that never work?
Have you tried turning on your Xbox? Many times, issues can be resolved by a simple reason.
Are you sure it's plugged in? Yeah, that's
you
the
got
other
the red
thing,
ring
they'll
of
tell you,
FU
they'll
error.
tell you to turn it off, unplug it, wait for 5 minutes, and plug it back in. So, not to be this way, but if their solution to fixing your system is unplug it, they need to make a better system.
Recalculating. Thank you for calling Xbox Support. Your call is important to us. Current hold time, 40 minutes.
That was a weird interaction. It looked like Jago went through the pyro bomb, but I guess he just disappeared when he hit some.
At least he ain't getting health back.
Not yet. Nice, great.
At least it wasn't Supreme this time. Happy.
Good game, though. At a certain point, Jago gets you in block strings, and it's like you are afraid to hit anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much about this game that I wish I I wish I just sat down and practiced. Cause like, I mean, I don't know how to do his cancels like in combo and stuff, and like make those like crazy block streams and everything with Jago. I mean, Jago might be my favorite character to like just put gameplay wise in this game, but like I'm not good at it.
He's got a pretty classic...
You do know he gets +2 on all of his frame data for instinct mode, right?
Yeah, I know he gets like all his frame data changes. That's like
And he gets the health restore on. Well, that's kind of all right. Yeah.
Jago Kukin. Yeah, I'm a pretty basic Jago player. Like I just do low, medium kick into medium punch, sword swipe, and you can do that like depending on the character and how far back they get put. You can do that like 3 times in a row because he's positive on all of those Yeah, the most frustrating thing about KI2 is that each time you did one of your 5 enders, it would add another hit. And if you did the 4 basic ones, then you could do the 5th one, which was like a really impressive ender. But it was so hard, the energy bars were so small, and went away so quick. It was tough, even if you were crushing your opponent, to get all 5 of those enders.
Yeah.
It was like always playing Mortal Kombat and never being able to get the fatality. You won, but you end up frustrated in the end.
Yeah, there was that was one of my favorite things about KI. It was like all the hidden like enders, because in order to get the highest ultimate, you have to get all the enders.
Yeah,
you had to like
you had to do all 5.
Yeah.
And there was a mini ultra for the first life bar that everybody could do.
Yeah.
No, there was tons. If you go online and look for a fact for that game, it's like 70 pages of like typed up text.
Yeah, remember Jago's Ghost? You could do that. Get like the TJ combo last breath.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of wild stuff. Including some stuff that to this day I've never been able to pull off.
Yeah. I mean, that game, I played it mostly against, I played it mostly on the 64. I played the KI Gold. Yeah.
That controller was such trash trying to play that game.
Funny thing is that I just hooked up my 64 last weekend or so, and I bought a new 64 controller offline. And, yeah, they retooled it for like a retro look or something, and so it looks more like a Xbox controller today. So I haven't tried it for like KI Gold yet, but like it looks like it's better for fighting games for sure.
That's good. One of the other things that people don't talk about, we got all these people talking about combo execution all the time and how games are getting easier.
He had my
Those
number.
early 90s arcade games, the inputs were really finicky for fireballs and DPs. Every game has easier inputs now.
I couldn't do a DP on Street Fighter 2 on like the Super Nintendo for like anything.
Play the old Street Fighter games, because like those take some real demand on execution that I don't know I could do. Yeah. Then again, when they were out, I was like 8.
I was a little older. And I probably spent, I don't know, 3,000 hours in the basement with my brother playing Super Nintendo Street Fighter. And then Super Nintendo Street Fighter Turbo Edition. And then Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition. So, they were pretty good for all. But even in that series of Super Nintendo games, They made the execution easier in the sequels. It's not as
Well,
hard in.
I think what part of the reason is that they were moving it towards an analog, the actual cross stick inputs versus an analog stick. You know, where you have the the beautiful thing about you have that sort of arcadey feel with the controllers now with the actual analog sticks versus the old cross stick.
Yeah, I never even thought about it like that.
Oh. Nice. He's got that jump. Oh. My thing made me safe, his thing made him safe. I turned into a big nut.
I just realized Lacey has a Ninja Turtle feet.
Yeah, he does. He's weird looking.
He also has 2 thumbs.
Nice.
I guess you could call them thumbs.
Some call them thumbs. Well, that was good.
This is I like it. This is goofy.
Oh lord.
Jara he knows exactly what to do on this. He knows how to avoid the
Yeah, he's
teleport.
really working hard.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
no,
improved
I ended it
substantially
early
since
by
last time.
Dang, dude.
That spawn, though.
We lost some guys, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my KI.
Trustful, I guess, left. Oh, there he is. He's fine. Oh, and
He's returned. Now he's out
He's
of the
returned,
queue.
but he's still spectating.
He's enjoying it. Sorely
He's
laughing.
like pants for my amusement.
He's like, you thought I was gonna play, but no, I'm just gonna watch.
You will fight
gonna make-
for my entertainment.
It said your lack of skill is meme-worthy. I am making memes from your plays.
This is like shit out of a Rick and Morty episode.
Oh, nice. Cheerleader Victor. My kid's favorite.
Cheerleader Riptor.
I forgot that was a thing.
Nothing like playing against Bud Baby and Trish, and he used a cheerleader outfit and destroy you, all the while looking like ballerina Riptor. It's like it's embarrassing. In the original game, was Riptor female or was it
Yeah.
Female.
Yeah, female.
Oh,
Because apparently the female raptors have always been more deadly. I mean, that's
This
like
is
a
so long.
Jurassic Park type. It's like the females are the hunters and they...
Well, in Jurassic Park, weren't like all the dinosaurs female?
yes,
That's what
it was reproductive isolation.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's right.
But there's some.
Well, eventually there was some...
kind of like lions. And different, you know.
You know, what always gets me with Riptor, one of the attacks Riptor does, they'll do like a normal, a standing normal, and you block it and immediately go into that little dive that he does.
What I hate about Riptor is you actually have to delay the throw tech on him. Or her, sorry.
We
And
must
then,
use
like,
the correct gender
also-
pronouns.
Yeah. And then like, yeah, they. You have to
Why'd you pick
delay
that?
the
Were you
tech
just
on
not
them.
picking Sidira because I hate Sidira? You should have done Sidira. Now I gotta fight Ragnar.
Well, if he plans on ending in about 10 minutes, I think I know what I'm gonna do.
Alright. My third run at this easy match.
$9 minutes. Yeah.
I gotta get going.
Yeah, we're ending at 5, right?
Yeah, so, yeah. Just 9 minutes. 9 minutes for me to... It won't take that long, Andy.
It's like that line in Resident Evil 5. 7 minutes. All I can spare is 7 minutes.
Oh, see if I can get a win in
I
7
was just
minutes. while
playing
the
that.
map
I was
is
playing that before I hopped on KI. Fucking kicking his ass.
Really?
Yeah. It's like 7 minutes. 7 minutes. What I have left. I'm like,
7
okay.
minutes is all I have to spare.
I pull my magnum. I start fucking shooting him.
Yeah.
Start beating him up as Chris.
We're gonna have
Jill
Buster
just
as
watching.
the next guest character.
Oh,
He'll be in the next character pack with Doom Guy.
Oh yes.
Because Daddy Microsoft now owns the stuff. And all we have to do is just use the BFG music as his theme. And Instinct mode is like Rage mode. Ragnarok with that easy win.
Oh.
Whoa. I'm not gonna lie, this is getting sick. Two Shadow Cash outs in the same combo.
Yeah, he was trying to style on that one.
Gotta
I'm about to
start on
style.
such an easy
I'm gonna
match.
style.
Northern Pie.
Supreme victory!
Iron Flame, cured me of my Shinisako buzz. It's like
I'm gonna style. Oh,
a character. I think a character that is regarded as bad, but in truth is really, really good, but only good in good hands is Conra. Conra, he's one of those characters that you just can't win easily with him.
no, he is not.
He is so difficult to use, but once you get him down, it's like, my goodness, the stuff he does. Because it's not about you're going to take damage no matter what you do with him. It's better if either take damage that's breakable or take damage that's not breakable. Which one do I want to do? And that's kind of how his matches go.
Well, see, sometimes though, like the damage that's not breakable is just minute. Cause like it's
Yeah.
like, do I want to take the 5-hit fireball that does like pithy damage, or do I want to risk something else and possibly get hit for big bucks?
Or if he has meter, jump into the fireball and still get hit. Still get hit, jump into the scarab and still get combo.
I mean, yeah.
You take
Cinder
your
can
hits
actually
against
go
Ron.
through those scarabs though, like with his Trailblazer. That's surprising. But
I have a
small
lot of
bonuses.
trouble with on Ron, but Glacius, the damage potential between them is so
I love that
skewed
thump.
that if I can lose for 9 seconds and then I get one hit and win the game. But I agree, Conrad's a very good character. He's really frustrating for people who don't have matchup experience against Conrad.
And so few people play him. How are you going
Yeah,
to
it's
get that
true.
matchup experience? It's a problem that's just compounded.
Yeah, that's right. But you play a guy like it's Conrad, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been, like, not around.
Agano's scary too. I know he's big and slow, but the threat of armor is just so strong.
Yeah.
name.
He's such a flow character. Like, Aganos needs to win the first light fight. Because once you get his chunks down, the fight just gets harder and harder, and typically you get his chunks down as the fight goes on. So, like, he's got us to get the lead and keep it.
God, I don't think I've seen a character get that high in KI.
Yeah, me neither.
Except when Conrad smoked that stuff one time. It's like, what's the ceiling on these KI stages?
I think
It
it's
goes up reasonably high. Part of it is because with Aganos, right, this one pulls back more than it normally pulls back, so you can see more of the ceiling.
I know
Aganos
that
is so
Shadow
big.
Tiger's lair has a really high stage ceiling, but like, they used to use that ceiling as part of the backdrop for Shadow Jago's ultimate.
damn fingers.
I hate that
Good
river
game,
dance.
good game.
We got 3 minutes. One more. One more.
I'm gonna duck out of here, you guys. Good games. I'll see if I can
It
get
was
up
good
with you
chatting
next
with you,
time.
man.
Good seeing you.
It's wonderful chatting, and thank you. Thank you.
Maybe I'll try and do some practice next time, or before next time.
Me and Iron. One more game.
We're adding
Do I want
Cinder
do
to
I-
the ban list, so Cinder and Sadir are banned next time.
Oh, well, why don't you just, like, chop off my arms and legs?
I would if I could reach you.
Okay. Okay. Seriously, though? Seriously, though? Not so serious.
You know what we should do, and just have for fun, is like next time we do this, do just
I
random
am-
select. Just do nothing
This
but
is-
random
Oh, God.
select.
I would do that. I would
I would
totally
do
down.
that,
So I get equal.
but I would
then, don't know.
lose.
Well, yeah, but that's the point. Go with the other guy.
Okay.
You win the internet if you can get through Rash's full time in the match.
I've never been actually. I never actually seen his second time fully.
Goes for like an hour.
Yeah.
It's like as long as Sadira's original weapon trap.
Couldn't get it to work, but okay. I was trying to do the Samuel D special, but
Wait,
I've
can
actually
he eat
been
those daggers?
I guess I can't.
Everybody gets stunned.
But why? Get out, man. Got that life bar.
I think Andy,
Taunt,
you're
taunt,
one of-
taunt! It's never not funny. I hate that I laugh, but I like it when he gets to the part where he's doing the like shuffle with his hands like swinging.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was gonna happen. It was gonna happen.
It was inedible.
Yeah, what is
Never.
funny if his taunt actually gave him life back?
Take it
Like,
easy, Dutch the bear.